To the church and his followers, Saint Valentine was a courageous priest who died for love and lived to share it. A 3rd century martyr, his name is celebrated around the world. And in Terni, Italy, the town north of Rome where he was born and buried, couples arrive every 14th of February to promise their love and ask for his blessing in marriage. But those entrusted to carry on the legacy of Saint Valentine say his true story and message is little known. When you walk through this town, do you sometimes think Valentine walked in the same place?
Yes, yes.
As Bishop of Terni, Saint Valentine walked these very ruins some 1800 years ago. This day I am joined by his successor, Bishop Vincent Paglia.
Yes. I receive a lot of good stories about the protection of Valentine. That's why I would like to spread this story.
During his life, whispered through corridors of cobblestones, Bishop Valentine came to be known as the protector of lovers. A reigning emperor known as Claudius the Cruel banned marriage, deciding he could recruit more men to die in his army if they didn't have wives or children to return home to. In secrecy, Bishop Valentine married the young men and women who came to him in love.
He pushed the young people to get married.
Even though it was against the law?
Exactly.
And it wasn't just a romantic notion of marriage that drove Bishop Valentine to marry young men and women. An early defender of women's rights, he knew that without a marriage contract, women would be left vulnerable.
They didn't have protectors at the time. And that's why a lot of young people gathered around him. They saw in Valentine the concrete protector of their life.
Yes. And it is said Bishop Valentine was a healer not just of the heart, but of the disabled. His reputation for curing the paralyzed and infirmed grew decade after decade.
And he became famous for this.
Bishop Valentine was eventually summoned to Rome to heal a child of the ruling class. His success and respect among the masses inspired many to convert to Christianity, and that cost him his life. Roman authorities were convinced that Bishop Valentine was such a threat to their rule, they decided to eliminate him. One night, in the middle of the night, he was abducted and beheaded on the road linking Rome to Terni. Before his murder, reported to be on February 14th, at the age of 80, Bishop Valentine had been imprisoned in Rome. From there it is said he sent a letter back to Terni. As legend has it, a note carried by a dove, signed from, quote, your Valentine.
It is perhaps the tradition
to
send a Valentine.
Pilgrims today come to his church, leaving behind letters, often emotional requests and prayers to protect a loved one, to find a soulmate.
It's charged with energy here.
Rarely does Father Paolo Ranelli, church caretaker, share the notes of love. On our visit, he made an exception. Underneath the church lies Saint Valentine's tomb.
Can we go in that crypt?
Sì.
Andiamo.
There, encased in glass, a relic of the saint. Nearby, the ancient ruins of the church Bishop Valentine prayed in. Outside, couples prepare to promise themselves to each other. So you're going to come here to make the promise to each other?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, town fathers and church leaders meet to plan February festivals honoring Saint Valentine, attempting more than ever to spread his message.
He came from Italy, but his name and I hope his love now is spread all over the world. It's time, exactly.
This night, like most, Monsignor Paglia returns to the chapel in Terni. He prays to Saint Valentine, embracing a desire that the world fall in love with a saint and the message he lived to